So a few different things there. Specifically, this probably happens more when it went further physically on the day one than when it didn't, right? Is that actually accurate? Okay. Number one, schedule your day twos in such a way that you will have an extended period of time with them, right? Don't schedule quick day twos that can't go anywhere. Because if you get that vibe on a quick day two, then you're kind of fucked. Whereas if you have time to get through it and you just have good day two game, then you'll usually be okay. So that's one big one, all right? My personal philosophy on a day two is if a girl hangs out with me for 5 hours, she's basically gonna have sex with me. Maybe not that night, but she's definitely gonna have sex with me. It's pretty much impossible for a girl to hang out with me that long and not like me enough to have sex with me. So I schedule my day twos in such a way that I can, if necessary or if I want to, have that much time with them. At least for ones that I care about, right? For ones that are just half-assed, maybe I'll just schedule like a quick little thing, and if it falls through the cracks, it falls through the cracks, and just touch base. But schedule so you have time to work through these obstacles. Number two, try and have some form of physical escalation off the first moment, even if it's not a lot, right? Even if it's just like a hug, it's way better than nothing, okay? And if you did make out with the girl, don't expect to walk up and make out with her at the start of the day two. Don't expect to just pick up right where you left off, but do expect to pick up somewhere, all right? The other thing that you can do sometimes as a last ditch, okay? This is not optimal game. This is not a technique you should be employing often. But this is a last ditch for any sort of resistance to physical escalation. If you absolutely have to, you can logic through it, okay? This is one thing that I don't know a lot of people that are good at game that do this, but this is one thing that I've done and I've had amazing, amazing results doing, is logicking through obstacles, logicking through objections. So for example, I'll give you one specific case actually. This was 2004 probably. I was working for RSD. So I was posting on the internet. You could find out who I was based on, if you Googled me thoroughly, you could find out about me. So I went out with this girl and it was really good. And then got fairly close to physically escalating, but didn't go all the way. Then she was really, really intense to follow up with me afterwards, like following up hard, trying to get me out on the day two. I'm like, okay, this is a done deal, right? Got out on the day two, or I guess day three, second date. Because I met her in a diner, day one, and then day two is what we're talking about now. So day two, or second date, she shows up, is super, like, conversation's great, like eye contact's great, sexual tension's there, will not let me touch her. After like getting fairly physical the first time. I was like, that's pretty weird. So then at the end of the day, we had like the lame-o kiss, and I was like, okay, that was just fucking weird, I don't know what happened. But then she follows up with me hard again for the third date. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And on the third date, she starts to mention some like random things that seem a little too weird, right? Like she said to me, certain times you seem like a really nice guy, whereas certain times you seem like a kind of guy who might like just like sleep with 3 girls in a week. The funny thing was, I had recently posted a field report that was Zanius sleeps with like hit LR, Zanius does 3 in a week. So I was like, that's interesting, that's just a weird coincidence, right? But then there were a few other weird coincidences. I was like, wait, this is not a coincidence anymore. Turns out she'd Googled me, found out what I did for a living, and that's why she was being very resistant now, right?
Wow, that's nice.
What's that?
She was following you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can tell you some stories. Like since I started putting articles and videos out, I can tell you some of the interesting situations I've had recently. It's interesting though. It is actually really interesting because girls will keep wanting to see you and wanting to see you and wanting to see you, but then you have this whole other weird level of resistance. Like I have this girl that basically anytime I want to will drop anything to see me, but if I try anything physical, she'll resist it.
So
what is that?
Validation?
Yeah, well, it's for a number of different things. It's for the fact that I've just provoked a lot of really intense emotions in her, and so she likes the emotional high she's getting, and to a certain extent, the validation of being with the guy who could get other girls. Although,
The arousal.
yeah, that's a good one. Is arousal for sure, emotional arousal. And because she was super on, like before she Googled me, in this case that I'm talking about, actually the other Google case that I'm talking about, she had texted me twice right after meeting me, and one of them was talking about even having casual sex. So like she was like very like bang on. And then 3 hours later, I get this text that says like, you are the worst person ever. You teach guys to be manipulative, evil, and cruel, and wrong, and I can't stand with you. I vomited a little in my mouth when I watched your video. Like, So it's a little bit of a turnaround. In any case, what I've had good success doing with girls is if they won't have sex with me, but they'll do other things, right? If they'll make out, they will make plans with me, they'll come see me, but they just won't do sexual things. And you've tried it, but first of all, don't, again, subtext and context, don't mention the subtext if you can avoid it, right? Don't talk about game if you can avoid it. Just play the game, just have fun, have a normal conversation, let it flow naturally. Only talk about it if absolutely nothing else is working. However, if nothing else is working, you've been on like a couple dates in a row and you're getting to the same exact point and there's no budge and it doesn't make sense, sometimes try this, okay? See if I can remember the speech, it's been a while. All right. So, say you're addressing the girl. You would say, so I think that what we have together, it's really fun. I like hanging out with you. You seem like a really cool person. And I really do enjoy that we can hang out with each other and we can be real. And that phrase, be real, that's actually really, really important to me. Because one of the things I just can't respect in people is if they play games. I don't like people who play games. I like people to be real with me and be honest with me. All right? And so I know that you're a little hesitant to do anything physical right now. I know you're a little hesitant about the whole sex thing, and that's fine. I understand that's where you're coming from, and I want you to know I'm okay with that. And I want you to know absolutely this is not about sex. Okay? I want to repeat that. This is not about sex. If you want to never have sex with me, I am fine with that. All right? We can just be friends. If you want to just be friends, we can never have sex. We will never make out again. I will not flirt with you in the way that we've been flirting, but we can just be friends. The sex is not an issue in itself, so don't think it's about sex. Oh, and by the way, if we were friends and I met a guy who I thought would be great for you, I would totally set you up with him. And if you met a girl that would be great for me, I would expect the same of you. And I would expect if we went out together and you saw me with a girl, that you would be cool enough as a friend not to get jealous and not to be weird about it, right? And if you're comfortable with that and if you want to just be friends, right as of this moment, we can totally just be friends. And I'd be really happy with that. In fact, in some ways, I'd be happier with that because it'll probably last longer, right? Friends typically last a lot longer than relationships will. And I can use good female friends that won't be weird and try and hook up with me because I get that a lot, all right? So if you want to just be friends, we can totally just be friends. But you have to realize I will never kiss you again. I will never look at you again the way I'm looking at you right now because it will be different. If you're okay with that, that's fine. However, if we're going to be more than friends, if we're going to have a relationship, there are certain things that are a part of a relationship for me. And having physical intimacy is one of those. Now, I'm not saying that this is not like an ultimatum. This isn't like fuck me or leave. You need to understand that, okay? You can take as long as you want for this to develop. I enjoy hanging out with you. If I didn't enjoy that, you wouldn't be here right now. I have a phone. There are other people I could call. Right? I wouldn't be with you right now if I didn't enjoy you. So take as long as you want, as long as two things. Number one, I get the feeling that it's moving somewhere and not stagnant. And number two, I get the feeling you're not playing games with me. If I ever feel like it's stagnant or if I ever feel like we're playing games, then we're either going to be just friends or it's going to be over. All right? So you can take as long as you want with this decision. We can take it as slow as you want, but I want you to actually make that decision. And I actually want you to, I don't want you to make a decision now. I want you to actually go home, think about it, take your time with it. I want you to make a good decision. And know that if you decide to just be friends, I'll be a little sad because I do find you very physically attractive. I think the sex would be amazing. I think we have great physical chemistry. But if you say that, I will be fine with it. I will do that. And I will expect you to hook me up with girls. That's the speech.
That was good.
Thank you. So that can work as a default fallback if nothing else is working. But don't use it but as a last resort. Do not use that unless you've tried every single other thing and you're absolutely certain that she really just is playing games with you. Because if that's not the case, there's another flaw, there's another value issue, and that speech will actually backfire terribly. And she'll be like, yes, I'm so glad to be friends, let's just be friends. Right? You can get that if you do it at the wrong time or without the right precursors. Okay? So, but that's one way to logic your way through it. And I don't think a lot of guys do that.